Hi, I'm Carl.
And I'm Dean.
And we're here at the Excel Centre in London for Data Centre World 2025. Okay, so Dean, here we are. We've made it to the stand.
We have indeed, and we've come back outdoor for our outdoor area.
Absolutely, we brought the outdoor indoor, haven't we?
Yes. Yes.
So we're on the stand. The stand's broken into 4 zones. We wanted to give you a bit of a highlight of what products are in each zone. And like Dean's just said, we've started in the outdoor zone. So Dean, tell us about that.
So we've come along with some of our TS top techs, and we've got our single skinned and we've got the double skinned with the Bluey unit on. So Carl's going to speak to a bit about our Bluey unit that can go outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Bluey Plus products, obviously, one of the things we really specialise in is the fact that we can take sensitive IT equipment and then move it into a more aggressive, polluted environment. That might be industry or, obviously in this region, the outdoor zone, and that's becoming more and more prevalent, isn't it? So the cooling units, they are sort of tried and tested, leader of the pack industrial cooling units, but we can maintain with the 19-inch inside the cabinets, we can maintain a nice protective temperature regardless of whether the sun's shining in the summer or whether in the winter. We've got heaters and things in there as well. And then behind us there, we've also got the container, so that's demonstrating our containerized systems. And then obviously that's like a large scale version of these, putting multiple levels of racks in there, so you can really scale up from one single enclosure all the way up to a full-size container for your car park or dropping in at a facility and whatnot.
Yep, we've got in there this time. We've got our VXIT showing in there, so we've got 2 dropped in, which looks really smart in that area. Yeah. But we can also add the Bluey units onto containers as well, can't we? So
yeah, that's the beauty. Yeah, we have our Bluey Plus containers. We build them ourselves in our special factory in Germany. And they are bolted on the outside, and the beauty of that is obviously, as you can see, we've got the protective skin on the outside, so you can't actually see the products. It's all protected from damage and etc. But because it's outside, we can really benefit from that free cooling because we've got that difference of heat inside the cabinet, the cooler relative temperature outside and whatnot, so we can do a lot of free cooling, a lot of energy saving, and that's really where these containers come into their own.
Perfect.
So Dean, now we're in the industrial zone, so we've taken a little tour around the stand to the next corner, and what's the idea about the industrial zone?
So the industrial zone is really good because it's where we can bring our VXIT into the industrial zone, having an IP rating on it with our glazed doors. It's got a seal around it so we can actually protect the equipment within there, and we can also bolt on an LCP, which helps with the cooling.
It does, but like you say, with obviously this one's glazed because that's an option we have and it looks nicer on the stand and whatnot, but like you say, glazed front or steel front, steel rear, nothing's getting in there once that rack is shut, so it could be next to a plastic injection machine or something like that. And with the cooling on there as well, you've got that DX system, you're going to keep it nice and cool in here, but the environment could be quite aggressive.
Exactly, yeah. Where we're trying to put these in is next to the machinery, like you say, the plastic mould. There's a lot of sort of ingress going around. We don't want that within the cabinet.
No.
It's going to affect your servers, and that's the last thing we want.
Of course.
But yeah, it's really, really nice solution where we can just bolt cooling on. And if you want to, you can bolt it on at a later date if you realise you've got
more equipment. Need more cooling, it can be bolted on either side and whatnot, and you can bank it up and grow it and things. And you're totally right, we're really seeing a bigger and bigger take up of this sort of solution because there's more and more internet, more and more data, more and more connectivity. Okay, so still in the industrial zone, but we've got a slightly different application here. Not a magic trick, there is still cooling on this, you just can't see it from this angle. So we've still got your VXIT rack.
Yes.
So we're protecting from all those nasties and the sort of dirt and detritus and whatnot from getting into our sensitive IT equipment. But now we've got our Bluey Plus cooling unit mounted to the rear of the panel, okay? And what happens then is we have ductwork delivering that cold air to the front, so we still have our traditional IT cooling, cold to the front, rear ejected out of the rear, and then that circuit continues, so we get the benefits of both worlds.
Yes.
So, Dean, we're going back into more the traditional white space now, into the data center zone. So what have we got in that area?
So within that area, we've actually got one of our colo racks, which goes into all of our colo sites.
Yeah.
We're highlighting the standardisation of the product which we've got there. With the PDUs, we can have the different coloured PDUs within there.
Yeah.
Showing which is your A and a B feed.
I see.
Then we've also got our VXIT in there, which is, we can put that into any data center that's available. We will put that rack in there. It's a great product with the dynamic load as well, going up to 1800 kg.
Yeah.
1500 is our standard. Then we got to 1800
for the dynamic
load.
Yes.
So, and all the different door variations as well in there.
Oh, excellent. And obviously sandwiched between there, we've seen the LCP form factor already as a DX, but we've got the cold water version. So if we're moving into more of that HPC space, we can go up to 53 kilowatts with one of those units, and obviously you can build up how many you want. So if you're starting to get a bit more serious with the heat load inside your racks, the LCP cold water is really the sort of thing you want to be looking at. And the new addition we actually have this year, and I'm going to bring a guest on now, we have our power range, our power distribution. So for that, we will bring in our own Power Pete. So Pete, here we are. You're the newbie this year. You've got your new products on the stands. It's all debuting. So give us the potted history. What have we got on the stand?
So for the first time this year, we've got our modular LV switchgear offering, which is Form 1 to Form 4. On the back of that, we've now got our brand new Reline X. So that's our new Form 2 IP2X straight out of the box busbar system.
Yeah.
So that's faster, safer and simpler. So it's faster for us to manufacture, faster for the assembler to actually mount. It's safety straight out of the box. There's no parts that you can access without a tool.
Yeah.
It's also, there's no parts for you to cut. It literally is fit and done.
Oh, excellent.
It's nice and simple, so it's de-skilling the workforce as well. So if you can use a screwdriver, you can mount this.
Excellent.
So you can reuse your skilled boys to go elsewhere and do the more valuable work.
I see. And is the IT space, is there a lot of need for power in the IT space?
Yeah, so with the advent, obviously, with AI drawing more and more power while it's in its learning phase, you're going to need these higher density power supplies, and the Reline X is built for that. So you can take the power in, distribute it at a rack level, in line, and with AI drawing that more power, this brings it local to the actual inline racks.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and it's already getting a lot of interest. People coming around and having a nose in, having a look at it. They always like something new.
Yeah, it's literally, it's within the first sort of hour or so, it's getting quite a lot of traction.
Excellent, yeah.
It was out on the road last week as well, and got quite a lot of good interest.
Yeah, very good. Sky's the limit.
It's going to be the future.
And finally, the pièce de résistance, the future zone. We've got big things, new things. It's the future. It's all the exciting stuff. What we got in there?
So I'll start off with the OCP, the teaser in there, which is where we can actually work with the hyperscalers. We've been working with the OCP group, so it's the Open Compute project. We've got our own standard rack within that area.
Very deep with them, aren't we?
Yes, yeah. Our guys down at CSM down in Plymouth,
yep.
They work with those guys. And this year we put one of their racks on our stand, so it's a 21-inch rack.
Yeah.
There's a buzz bar system in the back where we can just slide the connection straight in, so no extra power, you just literally slide it in, clicks in, and then we've got that instant power. But I think the main thing in the future zone is, you can't sort of not miss it.
The behemoth.
It's just like, it looks like a huge engine.
Yeah.
But, oh no, it's cool. What does it do, Carl?
Yeah, the DLC, the direct liquid cooling. So that's the new thing for this year. It's obviously playing into the idea of the OCP. AI is obviously the big thing. We're talking more and more heat, more and more data, so all that needs to be managed. And the new way of doing that is with on-chip cooling. So the DLC, the direct liquid cooling, it's a real, basically a massive coolant delivery system to those chips on those servers, so they can run at peak performance while we keep that temperature down and keep them maintaining as well as they can do. So the DLC we've got on the stand, like you said, it's a behemoth. It's built in the OCP frame, so it's 21-inch. It's a big, tall, huge thing. It's got N+1 redundancy on the pump units, on the power, on the control, on the valves, on everything really. It's meant to be always operational.
Yep.
As maximum uptime. And the unit we've got on the stand, it does up to 1 megawatt of cooling. which is just a game
It's
changer.
crazy, yeah.
And it's really just taking what Rittal does, which is we make the best and we try and keep ahead of everyone else, and that is what we've done again with this product here. So we're just showing that off to the world and showing that, you know, we are still moving ahead and moving forward.
What about the temperatures when we're looking at like the inlet temperatures and then the temperatures down onto the chip? What are we looking at?
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because although it's more power, we're still obviously really the energy saving and the sustainability is a real big aspect of this. And the beauty of it is we can run up to sort of 60 degrees temperature into those servers, and we can still do high levels of cooling because those chips don't want to be super cold because that's going to damage them. You know, it's a shock, isn't it? Whereas, you know, if we can run in at 60, we're actually using less energy because we don't have to get it down as much, but we can still do an effective level of cooling. And then the world is your oyster a little bit, because that hot return liquid, you could then use that for, you know, in buildings, or, you know, we've heard the idea of swimming pools run by data centers and all these sorts of ideas. So it really brings in that circular economy idea.
Fantastic.
So it's exciting. People are interested. Yeah, you're right. It's shiny as well, and it looks really cool. But the technology behind it is absolutely wicked.
Fantastic.